In the long ages of Middle-earth, there existed a tragedy far older than the War of the Ring, a disaster born not from fire and steel, but from the ruin brought by one man's pride. In those elder days, the elven realms shone with the brilliance of noon sunlight, and among all their prodigies, none burned brighter than Fëanor, the master craftsman. With unmatched genius, he captured the light of the two trees and forged 3 Silmarils, the purest, most beautiful, and most perilous jewels ever created. What should have been the summit of glory instead became the shackle of his soul. As the Silmarils were formed, Fëanor's heart grew swollen with triumph. He became suspicious, jealous, convinced that even the Valar, who gave order to the world, coveted his masterpieces. He forged a vault of unyielding iron, sealed the gems in darkness, and forbade anyone, even the gods, from approaching them. When the shadow of doom arrived, this fullness brought destruction. One night, Morgoth, the dark foe, destroyed the 2 trees and drowned the world in everlasting night. The Valar begged Fëanor to surrender the Silmarils, to break them, and release their light to save the world. But Fëanor, intoxicated with his own brilliance, refused. He answered the Valar with arrogance, rejected sacrifice, and clung to his pride. Then the true blow came. Morgoth slew Fëanor's father, stormed the Iron Vault, and stole every Silmaril he had hoarded. In a single day, Fëanor lost his light, his father, his treasures, and the chance to save his people. All because his heart was too full to accept anything but himself. This was the fullness that invites ruin, a cup so full of pride that no wisdom can enter, and pressure alone shatters it. Thousands of years later, on the Pelennor Fields, Aragorn the Ranger showed us the opposite path. The path of humility that brings blessing. The drums of war had just faded. Aragorn had led the army of the dead to victory, saved Minas Tirith, and fulfilled a prophecy older than empires. By lineage, by merit, by glory, he could have marched through the White City's gates as a conqueror and claimed the crown instantly. But he did not. He saw the fear still lingering, the wounds unhealed, the kingdom not yet ready for a king. A ruler who seizes power through triumph alone cannot hold a kingdom for long. So Aragorn removed the armor of a king, wrapped himself in a ranger's cloak, and walked quietly to the healing tents outside the city walls. There, through the night, he rolled up his sleeves and treated wounded soldiers with the herbcraft he had learned in the wild. Ancient lore had foretold the hands of the king are the hands of a healer. And when dawn came and the people realized that the savior of the city had spent the night tending to the weak, not celebrating his own victories, he conquered no throne but won every heart. This was humility that receives blessing, a mind like an empty cup, open to wisdom, compassion, and trust. Now we leave Middle-earth and turn to the history of the East. We find the same truth echoing across 4,000 years. In the age of Emperor Shun of ancient China, the world was ravaged by floods. Shun appointed Yu the Great to tame the waters. For 13 years, passing his own home 3 times without entering, Yu dredged the rivers, opened channels through mountains, and finally subdued the floods. His achievement shook the world. Soon after, Yu led a campaign against the rebellious Miao tribes and secured another great victory. Like Fëanor, he possessed unmatched talent. Like Aragorn, his renown soared across the land. At this peak of triumph, Yu too began to feel pride rising within him. A dangerous fullness. At that moment, his minister Boyi stepped forward and spoke a warning so powerful it was recorded in the Book of Documents, Shangshu, one of China's oldest texts. Fullness invites loss. Manjiao's son, humility brings gain. Qian Shou Yi, such is the way of heaven. He meant, when the moon becomes perfectly full, it begins to wane. When water fills a cup to the brim, it spills. When a ruler believes he is complete, decline is already near. You understood. Instead of following the path of Fëanor, he chose the humility of Aragorn. He ended the military campaign, returned to his capital, and ruled not by force, but by virtue and education. 70 days later, moved by this humility, the Miao tribes returned and pledged allegiance on their own. When Fëanor's arrogance, Aragorn's humility, and Yu's awakening stand side by side along the river of time, the meaning becomes clear. Fullness is not the abundance of talent, but the closing of the heart, a sealed cup that cannot receive wisdom and eventually cracks under its own pressure. Humility is not weakness, but the opening of the heart, an empty cup that can hold rivers, carry people, and endure time. True strength never comes from believing we are already full, but from forever learning how to empty ourselves. In a world filled with competition, may we remember the locked iron vault of the Silmarils and the hands of the king tending the wounded through the night. For only the humble can carry honor, and only the open-hearted can hold the world.